Joining us now, we have Jason Mew, who is the Incident Manager Director with Nova Scotia's Emergency Management Office. He is in Dartmouth. Jason, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
How are things looking? It seems like it's a lot better than what it could have been.
Definitely, we were definitely fortunate that this wasn't a Fiona or Dorian type hurricane. So still a lot of strong winds, but certainly not the same impacts that we saw during Fiona and Dorian. We're still in the middle of the response. Still some high winds out there throughout the province, and we're just asking people to stay off the roads if they can, just not to impede Nova Scotia Power and other people getting the response underway.
And what areas have you been able to get into right now? You said the crews aren't going in if the winds are over 80 kilometers an hour. What areas are you looking at and focusing on right now?
So Nova Scotia Power is focusing throughout the province. I know the pre-staged equipment in southwest Nova Scotia and central Nova Scotia. A lot of impacts in Halifax as well. I think to date they've restored over 170,000 customers. So they're doing a great job. But as we know, Nova Scotia is beautiful, has a lot of trees. And sometimes those trees like to fall on power lines, so they're actively in the middle of restoration efforts.
What should people be doing if they do see power lines brought down by trees? What's the best advice for them?
Yeah, the best advice certainly is to stay away and to treat every downed wire as it's energized, and to call Nova Scotia Power immediately. They have a 1-800 number you can call, report that power line down, and they'll send someone out to take a look and de-energize it and repair it as quickly as possible.
And any concerns with the flooding? I know we were talking about storm surges, some of the images from Peggy's Cove with those waves crashing ashore. Any concerns about those or any damage?
Yeah, definitely. We've had some localized flooding and some damage to some coastal areas. We are asking people to stay away from the coast and not to kind of become disaster tourists. So if they can, remain indoors as much as possible and stay off the roads, it just helps not only Nova Scotia Power restore power as quickly as possible, but it allows Public Works and the other municipalities to work on the road safely.
And I don't want to say this is becoming old hat, but you do have a lot of preps in place before storms like this. What do you do after the storm?
So after the storm, when we're all done and the restoration is complete, we meet with all our partners and we have a lessons learned session and identify any gaps just to enhance our processes in the future. So we're always continually learning and enhancing our processes, and that really involves all our key stakeholders. So that's something that we really take to heart after, and to keep trying to do a better job every time we get hit, which is more often than not now.
What were some of the things from last year that you took away from Fiona, say?
Just to engage early, it certainly helps when you have Environment Climate Change Canada. They're co-located in the same building. Having all our key partners in the building, Nova Scotia Power is always there. Having the telcos such as Bell and Rogers and Eastlink Telus in our op center. That way it's just easier for us to respond collectively, and it just works out a lot better, a lot more efficient, and we have a quicker restoration time with all those key partners actively working together.
And with the cleanup and the power restoration, any indication how long you think it'll take? Hard to say, I know, but rough idea.
Yeah, hard to say with the trees. I know now that the winds are starting to come down below 80, it makes it a little safer for Nova Scotia Power to get out there and do a proper assessment. But they have teams in the field now doing an assessment. So what we do is we encourage people to go to their website to look at their area, and if they don't have access to the internet, they can obviously call the 1-800 number just to get more information from Nova Scotia Power on potential restoration times.
Okay, and I guess the big issue too is you restore probably the largest power areas first, and smaller individual ones have to have some patience.
Yeah, definitely. The way it works is there's a priority list, such as getting hospitals running, getting large centers going, getting fuel stations and fuel facilities running. So getting all that critical infrastructure up and running quickly and first, and then starting to concentrate on other urban areas and the rural areas as well. But certainly we have to get the hospitals and all that key infrastructure up and running again as quickly as possible.
All right, Jason, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Jason Mew with Nova Scotia's Emergency Management Office.